Today's video is how my weight has changed over the years while on a raw vegan diet. My highest weight ever was 140 pounds. I weighed this throughout my young adulthood, and then when I was around 24, I guess, I went vegan, and then, as is natural, I lost some weight. There's many reasons for that. See, you might lose some water retention. Oh yeah, you don't lose muscle. That's a common myth. I even was suspecting that back then. I didn't know what was going on. No. Now I do. Should have seen how skinny I was back then. At 140, I was skinny. Yeah, you can lose some fat, but I don't think I ever had much fat. I think everyone would lose weight in inflammation, and so a few pounds. So I went from 140 to, well, it dropped slow. 130, I guess. Yeah, I think it stayed around there. Maybe a few years later, it was in the 20s. Also, around that time, somewhere in my 30s, there were periods where I was not active at all. I did not exercise, which is a big mistake. I'm still making up for that. Now, if you don't exercise, you're going to lose weight in muscle glycogen. Fast forward a few years, and let's say I went raw in 2008 at age 40. I just looked back at my records. And yes, I have records for a long time. And see, those first few months, my weight was down, somewhere around 114. Now, when you go raw, again, you're going to lose weight, and again, it's not muscle, unless you undereat. Here, you're going to lose a lot of water retention, because cooked food causes your body to retain water, because it needs more water for all those dry foods. Also, toxins weigh something. Okay, and as the months pass, it seems I was not doing much exercising here. That will also explain weight loss. Here's weight, got up to 117. Let's see. I was eating buckwheat. That might retain some water, raw buckwheat. Then, after 9 months of raw, I went fruitarian. I did a month with I did 3 weeks with just fruit. And that made a difference. You know, something really strange happened. I have not mentioned this anywhere. So here it is. Let's see. Also, I don't know why this is, but I wasn't eating much calories. And that's strange. Down to about 1,000 calories. Maybe I was just cleansing. Oh, here I was trying to go without bananas. Not sure why that was, but see, it doesn't work. It's like Harley says, you can't do it without bananas, unless you have dates, jackfruit. I didn't have those things yet, and I was feeling really good this whole time, even at 109 pounds. I felt just about the best I have in many years. I was doing some exercise, like did a lot of walking. When I went fruitarian for the 3 weeks, and I did stay higher fruit after that, and I have ever since. When I started, I was a little apprehensive about if it's enough protein. So what I did is I decided to start lifting weights seriously and measuring how much I could lift. And so if I was losing muscle, I'd know about it. So I just kept on this high fruit, low protein diet as long as I could lift the same amount of weight. And then at the end of the month, I got down to 109 pounds. That's the first time I'm saying this. And it's because there's a good lesson here. Chia seeds. So I was back eating high-fat foods too. And after just 10 days, my weight had gone up 4 pounds. Now, there's a good lesson now too. Now, that's 4 pounds in 10 days. Here's a lesson. Now, that's not going to be fat, is it? You can't gain that much fat. I'm not sure about this, but I would say you can't gain that much fat in 10 days. And why would I be? Well, I was under eating. Just 1 month later, I was up to 123. I was also bloated. Let's see, rice. Oh, I was eating some cooked food there. And that will retain water. See, it's not fat. When you gain that much weight that fast, it can't be fat. The weight you can gain and lose real fast is water, which brings us back to when I weighed 109. Not only was I lifting the same amount of weight, so not only was I lifting the same amount of weights, I was increasing the amount of weight I was lifting. This was a real cool time in my life. I write down how much I lift or how many times, and like every week the number was going up. Now, I wouldn't say I can't say for sure I was getting more muscle. I might have been just getting in better condition. I was lifting at least every other day, and I was pushing almost every time. I would try to do more, and I could. And also, I was eating in a way that would increase muscle glycogen storage. That's what power is. And I do that by, after I would work out, I eat at least 500 calories of fruit. Quick glycogen into the muscles as soon as possible. My weight was down, but my strength was up because I was in the gym on the machines pumping the iron. That's what you all got to do. You got to use your muscles. Push. That's how you get somewhere. You got to make up for our lifestyles of just sitting around. And my legs were feeling better. Stress was down. I've had trouble with my legs going way back. And the legs was getting better and better. And now they're like back to normal now. When I was 109 pounds, I could tell I was losing something It was either fat and or water. Definitely water retention. At least part of it. Because I was nothing but it's like you could just see everything. No puffiness. You could see veins, bones, and muscle. That's all I was. I was ripped. It was weird. And I just did some eating thing for a few weeks here that's similar to that. But I didn't get the same effect. As a matter of fact, I'm really puffy now. I don't know why. I am detoxing. But there's something going on. Here's something where I wrote down here. On a machine, I lifted 100 pounds for the first time. And that was amazing. And I was doing it on fruit. And you get a little more of a hint and why I'm so big on fruit. I'm promoting it. Just another about a year or so ago, I increased the amount of cooked food I eat. So I'm like, I go anywhere from 60% raw to 100% raw. But my weight doesn't alter because of that anymore. It's strange. I don't have a reason for that. So I haven't done anything unusual in the last year. I've continued this pattern. But something weird has happened on the scale. Over the year, I've continued to gain weight. And I don't have an explanation for this either. I was back into the 120s. And then a few months ago I hit 130, which I haven't seen these numbers in over 10 years. I can't say I've gained strength. Can't say it's muscle. There is this puffiness. Now, to someone who says you lose too much weight, you lose muscle on this diet, I can just point to these numbers. I can just give them the numbers and say, look, I'm 20 pounds heavier than my lightest weight on a mostly raw, fully vegan diet. And I just want to explain to them why. See the irony there? Just like when we lose weight, we try to explain to them that it's water, and they don't believe it. Well, it's water when you gain weight, often, at least in my case. But just leave that part out because well, they don't believe in that kind of stuff. So I've gained weight on a raw vegan diet. I've learned to have fun with this, with all this, all these debates. People not listening or believing. Now, some people might say I'm getting fat, but if I was getting fat, I'd continue to gain weight. But it seems to have stabilized at 131. And if I was getting fat on this diet, I would have done it in the 2001s when I was not exercising, just sitting at the computer working, eating chips, oats, peanut butter, and 10 bananas a day. I was getting more calories then than I am now the last few years. So it's just water retention, because I'm going through some kind of detox right now. And each time this happens, I feel better afterwards. Yeah, it just keeps getting better. After it gets worse. You get your ups and downs, but it keeps going up. Ultimately. So that's my weight history. I hope you have enjoyed it. So let me know what you think about this. It's very interesting. Post your comment below.